August 10th, aftermarket S&P 500. So, I mean, last week we had this just parabolic move up out of this double month coil consolidation. Um, and I'm not really sure where to go with it right now. So on the 4 hour, some microstructures in here, but in general, to me, the last major low was way down here. And this is all just kind of internal structure with the fibs way down here. On the hourly, you could argue we are in the uptrend now based on just kind of more microstructure-y, but we haven't broken through this last high. And so I'm not quite sure. I could see a little head and shoulders here that would give us a good pullback into a better range to get long. I kind of have us in this channel here, so I'm sitting on hands and just going to watch what happens. Tuesday, August 11th morning. S&P really is just range bound. Here's the 240 daily, weekly. So, on the 60-minute, just letting it breathe or letting it do its thing because it's not moving. We are hitting these fibs, but I'm going to want to see some closure outside of this, some price action telling me to get in. I'm going to go short. I will say this could be a triple top with a neckline break, but because we're in such a tight range, I'm really waiting to see us get below these support zones that we've established. So just waiting and watching. This 12th end of day wrap up. So S&P 500, we're still just in this little flag ranging really sideways here. So on the 60, we did have this push down and we came back up. The fibs couldn't break it. And so now on the hourly here, I'm just kind of waiting to see if we break structure or what. Wasn't a super clean short today, so just didn't take anything and just waiting and seeing. All right, end of day, Thursday, August 13th, S&P 500. This is the weekly, so we've been ripping out of this range we were stuck in. On the daily, we had this little bit of a very shallow pullback flag, and we did just break and close above this last high. On the 240, that's what this looks like. It was interesting because we got up here and then we hammered back down, but then we just chugged along and closed above. So that's interesting. On the 60-minute, I guess I should do this. We did pull back and then kind of come back like this, but I don't really know how. I'm not seeing clearly what's going on here. If this may be a double top on the 60-minute if we come crashing down and break below this neckline, but we are at support here, and so I'm kind of just sitting on my hands and watching. There hasn't been a lot of clear signals of time to turn it around or in any of my zones. So even here, we never even really touched these wicks, let alone got in the supply zone. So find it interesting with the S&P 500. We'll see. It may just be one of those melt ups where it never really pulls back even, but time will tell. All right. It is entering 9 on Friday, which is kind of lunchtime for the markets here on especially the S&P indexes. But I just wanted to highlight that we have certainly in this last hour pushed down. This is the 240 here. Here's the 60-minute, and on the S&P in general, we had been ranging forever. We shot up. On the daily, we had this really weak flag pullback, and we kind of, now it's kind of looking like more of a rising wedge, but we just popped up. Now we're coming down. So on the 240 here, we are bullish. And so I don't know that I really want, although the fibs are down here, but we are entering a support zone right here. So as tempting as it is to look long or to look short, I may have to be careful here because we're entering zones of interest on the 240. That said, on the 60-minute, you can kind of see them here too. Let's see here. Waiting to see if we even break this low. And I just had some movement here. So we'll see. If we come back up into here and we form a nice pattern, I may get short for a second leg down. Or if we come more into a zone of interest on the 240, which we're getting there, I may look for areas to buy. I'm not quite sure. Just seeing some movement finally, and just gonna keep watching.